Welcome to TimSold Talks. Join us as we dive into all things real estate, talk about business, food, cars, and much more with industry experts. Dream it, believe it, achieve it. All right, welcome back to another episode of TimSold Talks. I'm very honored to have Chris Collucci here, the Markham Board of Trade President and CEO. Thank you very much for joining our show, Chris.
Oh, the honor's mine, Tim.
Yeah.
Thanks for the invitation. What you guys are doing here with the series is fantastic.
Thank you. Before we begin, I just need to give a quick shout out to our sponsors today, Eatable Popcorn. They're an amazing Canadian success story, a local kind of a business that started here during the pandemic, but made it to several hundred locations in the U.S. now. And one of the great achievements that they've been also making is this past season at the Oscars, they were in the goodie giveaway bags to all the celebrities and the hosts there. And because of that success, Disney reached out to them and they're doing a collab for this month, and they have a new special flavor. So please give it a try. We got two different flavors for us to try here. It's peach
I'm game.
and
I'm down,
tequila and pop.
Absolutely.
Tequila and salt.
I'll start with this one over here.
I think that's the Bellini one, and they're made fresh every day.
And then I'll wash it down with a nice TimSold coffee mug. Thank you.
You can get these in the merch store, guys.
Absolutely. Can never get enough. Wow, that is super tasty.
Yeah, they're really good flavors. So we got some goodies for you to take home afterwards for you and the fam afterwards. So yeah, feel free to.
Who are the founders? What's their name?
Vince and Charlene.
Charlene.
Yeah. I think they are they members or they may be new members of the Markham Board of Trade.
Yeah,
I've been pushing them to get a seat there.
I recognize the name. I'm going to check something when we're done.
Very inspiring story because how they started. They came on an episode and talked about their story as well. So I think that's already been released or will be released. So we look forward to hearing them sharing their amazing journey. But today we're here to talk about you and the path that you've come. What do you do? What do you represent? And what is the Markham Board of Trade?
Yeah, and I'm here to talk about the Markham Board of Trade and community. So thank you. Yeah,
great. Yeah, so tell us. So maybe you can share a little bit your journey and everything. What led you to become president and CEO of Markham Board of Trade?
Well, I mean, it's been an adventure, and everybody thinks of a journey as a straight line. And as usual, it's been a lot of turns and curves. And I started I started selling computers when I got my first real job back a little while ago. But I ended up at IBM.
Okay.
And I ended up I sold over $100 million of technology and services.
Wow.
But I was sales ops manager for global small business as well. I was a national marketing manager for one of the server brands, as well as, I helped them I started building a mobility services practice there with IBM Global Services here. And I liked it so much, I ended up joining it and leaving for the company I was building it with and went to Motorola.
Okay.
And in the enterprise mobility solutions, I was the Canadian Alliance Manager for the IBM Alliance here for Motorola's worldwide team. And then my wife had started a business, and I ended up let's just say getting drawn, when your family needs you, you kind of jump in, and it was a great time together, starting and growing the business. We ended up winning a National Startup Award, a few other great things. And it's great to have that Fortune 500 experience as a grounding point, and then to step into the entrepreneurial world where you're bootstrapping a business, where you're doing whatever it takes. You're on the journey of your lives, because it's basically like a trapeze. You're reaching out to catch that bar as it's coming back to you.
Yeah.
And then we grew that out. My wife ended up pursuing some other things, and I ran the business for another 4 or 5 years and sold it. Then I ended up, and we were a member of Markham Board of Trade going back, probably 15, 16 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. But then I sold the business, and I got into coaching and training and writing and,
teaching a bit, I think.
And teaching. I teach at Seneca. Also, I was doing training and as well as, let's just say the math works when you're doing groups of people around compelling subjects. But Seneca was they're a fantastic organization. Mr. Agnew is just an incredible leader.
Yeah.
And everything he's done with Seneca College it's truly remarkable.
Okay.
I taught business management. There were 4 courses I'd rotate: business management, some of them more technical, like business software solutions, or marketing, or innovation and entrepreneurship. That was that is a really fun course to teach as well. Yeah. And it's like I say, so that journey, I ended up, the previous executive left in 2022 and stepped in to help as chair for the board. And after about 6-7 months, I ended up stepping into the job officially July of 2022.
Okay.
And
Wow.
just stepped in,
Just
and
over 2
we,
years,
you know, we really wanted to carry momentum coming out of the pandemic,
Yep.
which was obviously affecting everybody, and also, you know, catching that wave and making sure that we were right there for our members and our community,
Yeah.
you know, helping as, you know, for
Yeah.
economic development and helping businesses.
Because COVID hit the small businesses the hardest, I would think, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it did. And it's funny. I mean, you know, we could go back to, you know, we could go back to the Spanish flu in like 2018. It was a different approach back then, and it was good to see businesses get some support. You know, in a modern age.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it a lot easier though, because there were a lot of challenges, and we're just glad to see everything move forward and people to be able to pick up and move on.
Yep.
And it's
And flourish again, right?
yeah, yeah.
And you know, for our audience that don't really understand what the Markham Board of Trade is about, could you kind of give them a summary or
No,
a few talking
absolutely.
points? Yeah.
So Markham Board of Trade is a membership organization. We are dedicated, and our mission is to support the economic growth and development of Markham and business success across the community.
Okay.
And our vision really is to really be a meaningful part of every Markham business journey. And when we look at it that way, as long as we wake up in the morning and think that, as long as we wake up in the morning and we think about our vision to be a meaningful part of every Markham business journey, we're never going to go too far wrong, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So a lot of ways we do that. Typically people look to chambers or a chamber of commerce or a board of trade, which we are, for things like connecting, extending their reach across the community, you know, getting programs that are valuable and help them save money or make them more effective in business, education, thought leadership, and advocacy.
Yeah. Okay. So it's really equipping small businesses with the tools and education and needs and knowledge that help them succeed and thrive and go to the next level.
Yeah. Connect, support, empower, all that.
Nice. And how big's the membership so far?
We put on 165 new members last year.
Nice.
We're on our way to putting on another 165 plus this year.
All right.
And we're on our way back to where we were, closing on even 15 years ago. So we're working hard and just one member at a time,
Growing,
making
yeah.
a difference.
Any notable members in the community that you are part of the membership, or who?
It's funny. We've actually segmented and kind of reinvented our membership model.
Yeah.
So we have our access members, who are just kind of full access. Catalyst members, and you can catch that on our website, markhamboard.com. You can also look at the enterprise members as well. Folks like Wayne's Auto Group, they've been a pillar of the community.
Yep.
Classic Group Foods, as well as we go through TD Bank, RBC, Meridian Credit Union, Canadian Western Bank. We're seeing a little bit more from
big names. Yeah.
Big, because they're going to look at membership as a little different. One thing that I certainly didn't expect coming into this, because I'm a business person, just a general business guy, driving growth, driving profitable sustainability, right? And when you're working for a not-for-profit, it really shows up on the board just how important that community sponsorships are for an organization, right? We're not dispersing, dividends, right? We're not distributing to a board of directors on the This is about community, and so when you see somebody like Kyle Moore come up with a title sponsorship for a tournament, if you see somebody like Green City Developments come up with a title sponsorship for last year's Business Excellence Awards, and Plato, and a lot of other big players in the community. It's very, very impactful and meaningful.
Yeah, because they're giving back to the community that have helped them build up their businesses, right? So to speak.
There's so many to mention. I wish I could just rattle them off right here, because
there's so many, so many success stories from this. Speaking of success stories, any kind of spotlight members or shout outs or kind of recent success stories you just want to give a mention to? Or?
Well, I think we look at our membership as new businesses starting up, right? We look at businesses who are in a growth mode. Also those who are in a mature state. Like when we say mature, we mean like IBM, like TD, RBC. They're all looking for something a little different, right? And if we have somebody who is a startup, obviously you're looking for customers. If you're in growth, if you give leads to a startup, they need customers. They're at a whole different, right? It's that race of your life.
Yeah.
And then the catalysts, we'll say the growth phase customers are looking for ways to be better business and integrate into the community and kind of getting to that curve. And the mature are looking for opportunities to demonstrate their leadership in the community. And I would say there's so many spotlights to, we could talk about TimSold, and being a part of our board of directors and being the secretary and an officer, and appreciate your support.
Oh no, it's our pleasure to give back, right? So
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's great. And how, being as the president now, like, how what do you find the reward in, or what wakes you up every day, and what's the meaning?
It's something I've always been just a bit of a geek about success, right? If we can do something successful, that's something that we can be proud of at the end of the day. And as we work through, I really, to say it clear, love the sense that we are working to reinvent the Chamber of Commerce, Board of Trade business model.
Yeah.
More benefits, like we've gone from 5 or 6 savings benefits to over 400. We've got a new program we introduced earlier. We call it 300 plus ways to save. Now it's 400 plus ways to save. Things like Chamber Perks, which is an opportunity for local business to put a directory on an app that can be shared out to employers and through to the community to be found and to get more business. To revamp our membership model to be more meaningful, applicable. Also to really build out our digital marketing offers for our members, give them more opportunity to reach and be found as well. We've launched a blog. We've still got our, Markham Voice magazine. We've still got our buyer's guide. We've got publications, but it's just great to be able to get the word out there. And we did 10 new programs in first half alone. Wow. And we're really now it's stepping into it and accelerating out of that into this year and next year.
Could you speak to some of those programs so our audience can?
And some of them are even are just events. We resurrected the golf tournament because we hadn't run one for years, even prior to pandemic. That's been a fantastic success and raised charity funds for Evergreen Hospice this year and Yellow Brick House the prior year. We've actually sold out our Business Excellence Awards the last 2 years, which it's good to see. Also programs like the Learning Series. So we introduced that. That's brand new, where we covered off, for members to come and people from the community as well. Because we have such a wealth of knowledge from our membership, skilled coaches, consultants, experts. So sales, marketing, leadership, customer experience, then leadership, then some technology, right? And I got a sense of what we'll do next year, and we want to do it a bit earlier. Our top 40 under 40, because because I believe it was Vince and Charlene. I believe they have been recognized and voted as among the top 40 under 40 in Markham for manufacturing magnates because of what they do, and they create a healthy edible option and a great success. So having that top 40 under 40 is big. Again, resurrecting our young professional network initiatives. That's big. Doing our thought leadership series on AI and cybersecurity, just to kick off Cybersecurity Awareness Month with over 200 people. And again, to have the support of a community and leadership like we have with Mayor Scarpiti and council, it's a big plus. Markham is, there's something special happening in Markham.
What, can you speak about that? Like what's transforming Markham right now, or what's the push? And
I think from our perspective, again, we're just a humble not-for-profit, as a Chamber of Commerce and Board of Trade supporting the community. Markham is the largest municipality in York Region. And as a board, we have to step up and represent that and deliver on that. And we're also looking at Markham's position as an innovation center for Canada. Markham has the highest concentration per capita of IT, comm, and tech workers in the country.
Really?
Wow. We've got, I believe it's well over 1,000, headquarters for technology and innovation companies in Markham.
Oh, wow.
In addition, we've got we've got a real foundation as an employment center, right? We're not just light residential and retail. Markham is an employment center with about over 170,000 employed in Markham, right? So when you look at that and the way Markham is going, really leaning into that innovation space and leadership, as well as supporting a growing and incredibly diverse community. We're the most diverse community, in Canada. That's according to StatsCan.
Wow. Okay.
And the more we can, I come by, I had to work hard. The more we can just embrace that diversity in the community, Markham brings the world together. We've also, we ran our first World Trade Center trade acceleration program ever done in Markham with World Trade Center T-Bot. And we're running a executive certificate, the fourth one we've run this year for, I believe it's e-marketing for international, or e-commerce for international on the 22nd Tuesday. So again, we're just leaning into that and just creating new opportunities with a lot of hustle. On this team, we don't step back, we step up.
No, definitely stepping up on a global scale, it sounds like. So
thank you.
So kudos to that. And, all the hard work that you're putting in, you're definitely seeing the results. And the boards and Markham are reaping the results of that. So thank you very much for all that input there. So, speaking to all that success, like what's the true reward that you get out of this so far?
I think it's the fulfillment of seeing things work. When we start bringing people together, that is a strength. And when you look at in ye olden days, right, even 10, 20 years ago, there was the third space or the fourth space. Right now, though, for a lot of folks, it's work and home. And those third spaces aren't there. So the more that we can create a great experience, a meaningful experience, and bring people together around meaningful relationships and topics and thought leadership, I think that is profoundly meaningful, and it means a lot. It's very satisfying, and also to see this organization grow, right? Because there are a lot of there's a lot of noise in a sense out there, a lot of things that people can go towards, and we really have to step up our game as a board or as a chamber of commerce to bring people in and give them those experiences to make them want to be here.
And building on that, like where you've kind of stepped in the role 2 years ago, you've brought it to a place where you're flourishing. Where do you want to bring it to next? What's the next step on the agenda?
That's a really good question, and of course I did kind of help out at no charge for about 6 months in transition. So, but no, it is. We're just on the 2-year mark, and I think when we started early 2022, we were down to 2 people on staff. There are boards nearby that have 6, 7, 8, 9 plus people, and our market is twice as big as theirs. So I think the real drive right now is to get the Markham Board of Trade resourced and equipped and directed to deliver more with a growing team. We're up to 4, and we have some additional help as well. And I think moving forward, we want to step up to we want to keep doing what we're doing and continue to do it better. And then we also want to step up to be kind of a C-level thought leadership, driver in the community, where we have business leaders in Markham, gathering around important initiatives or getting important updates. And I, from an advocacy perspective, I don't want to be, standing there partisan, shaking my fist at the sky, but there are things that with the right point of advocacy in our community, we can certainly help, move the yardsticks a little in certain areas, and that's meaningful as well. It's all about making Markham, or helping to continue making Markham a great place to do business.
And help them thrive. And speaking, about the thriving part of the small businesses, like how important is you teach a few courses on this, but entrepreneurship. Like any advice for anyone listening right now? Like how
I would say every single big business that you see out there was once a startup. Every single one. I mean, you can go back legacy and like HP. and IBM,
Yeah.
they were all small businesses. IBM used to sell a really good shotgun. My manager told me that when we would do Cadence, right? So, but they've all adapted.
Yeah.
I think you need to be resilient. Well, first, I think you need to get started.
Yeah.
You need to map out a plan because there are lots of people. Well, you want to make sure that you plan your journey so you can get back, right? So you got to plan. So get started. You got to map things out and be smart about it. You have to move forward. And then from there, you just have to find the right path and be flexible, be adaptable, and then resilient.
Yeah.
You have to be resilient. Everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do, right? And sometimes you have to bring that as an entrepreneur for yourself, for your family, for your business, your team.
And don't forget to join the Markham Board of Trade because that's
And
where all the
don't
support.
forget to join the Markham Board of Trade, right? Accelerate your business, your voice for business, and and open up a world of opportunities.
Very important, though.
Very important.
Okay, so now we're talking a little bit. What's been the greatest influence in your kind of professional life? Obviously, a great sales kind of corporate background, bringing you to this point. Like, what's been a great kind of
It's funny that's a really good question, Tim, because I can tell you, having had Fortune 500 experience with a couple of organizations and in a number of roles, just such amazing teams and incredible people, and you learn so much. And then once you've had that foundation, stepping out and becoming an entrepreneur, right? Now you're learning finance, real finance, right? You're responsible for payroll, right? You're responsible for leadership and developing people. You're responsible for making sure sales are done properly, consistently, effectively. You want a feedback loop. You also have to think about operations and make sure things are running optimally, right? You have to think about everything under the sun and be whoever you need to be. And having been an entrepreneur for 10 years, you develop skills that you can't build in a Fortune 500 company. So when you get to that point, it kind of completes a package where, you do marketing, you do sales, you do branding, you do operations, you do finance, you do leadership, you do HR. It's just, so...
It's kind of like corporate's kind of like the training ground, and entrepreneur's actual practical, get out there and what you did in training, put into reality, right? So,
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah,
you're learning as you go, and new exciting challenges come up every day, and you'll be a creative problem solver. And
it's true. And those challenges keep you young. I mean, it's there's a Carlos Castaneda, it's Journey to Islam, Don Juan. And there's a quote out of it. It's something like this, and I'll paraphrase a bit, an ordinary person looks at everything as a blessing or a curse, but a warrior looks at everything as a challenge. And that's a different way to approach things. And you can't always live in that energy. But it really does give you something you need to get through stuff, because sometimes it's reasons or results. You've got to get it done. You got to make it happen.
Because that's your bottom line, right? Like, if you don't get things done, your shop, your business, is not going to survive. So
that's where leadership starts.
Okay. Before we kind of let you go, any highlights you want to kind of give a highlight to or shout out to the initiatives that the Markham Board of Trade train that you would want our listeners to be part of?
If timely, coming up November the 8th is the Mayor's Breakfast. So we're supporting that, and you can call us about ways to support it or contact me directly. We have our marquee event of the year, the Business Excellence Awards, coming up November 28th. We typically sell out now to about 310 people. We might expand that a little more, and where we just love to be able to hold up the excellence in Markham, celebrate it on a great night for everybody. And one of the things that I'm really proud that we changed with the awards, you get 3 nominees and you end up with one winner and 2 losers, right? Which we call the winner the recipient, the person who gets of those 3. But we implemented a red carpet walk. So that all 3 nominees for each of the 10, 11 award categories are announced and walk down the red carpet up to stage, are received by our sponsors and board of directors, and then they're all up, and everybody does get a token of recognition. and then we make sure that we honor them. You've been selected out of over 10,000 businesses in Markham
Yeah.
to be up on stage as the best of the best, and it's a night to celebrate.
Yeah.
And then we have
proud
our
of, yeah.
and then we have our recipient, and but it's a great time and a great party, and then look to 2025 for great things, because we're really ramping up and pushing things forward in terms of our membership, some of the offerings, and if you are a member, take advantage of your digital membership offerings, right? Your blog posting, your marketing, your everything there.
All the discounts, right?
Yeah,
I think
that's
that's
right.
savings in itself. So
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So go check this
exclusive
out.
to members.
Yep. Nice.
Yeah.
Member access only. So, okay. So before we wrap up, there's two questions we always ask to ask our guests just for fun. First one is being, what's the one dream feature you would like in your ideal house?
Dream feature: library.
Library?
Nice big. I don't know if you ever watched The Highlander, but like that library with the circular, just a big, or there's
rolling
several books.
ladder.
Oh
you
yeah,
go around.
yeah, like literally, yeah, just a nice and a sunken down, like
Yeah.
a sweet library. That would
Okay.
be everything for me.
Nice.
Yeah, if you've been on any conference calls and Zoom with me at home, you'll see mine
the
behind
library.
me. But yeah, it's a big books. With books, you get to spend time with the smartest, best minds in the world, right?
Yep. Yeah. It's knowledge right there, right? So, unedited knowledge, I would say.
That's right. Yeah, and you can draw your own conclusions, and you get to benefit from that.
Yeah. So that's a challenge. I'll see if I find any listings and send them your way.
Let me know if you find it.
Yeah. Second question, kind of food related. It's what's the one type of food you would love to eat for the rest of your life?
It's the one type of food I would like to eat for the thing. I typically don't get cornered into choices of either or. I would say, you know what?
Yeah.
So either pistachio ice, either Moose Tracks ice cream
Moose Track?
or Brazilian barbecue, which offers a whole bunch of options.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, I think I'm going to go with the Brazilian barbecue for now. I can get my own.
Yeah,
you can get my own pistachio whenever.
That's interesting. Yeah. So, Brazilian barbecue. It's like the ones they bring in with the big skewers of meat. And yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And you flip the sign if it's like more
right.
or no. Yeah.
Hot, cold.
Yeah.
That's right. And they actually put cheese into the meat like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Any particular restaurants you want to highlight that are your go-to, or?
Well, there's if we're talking about Markham, actually there is a place that I would highlight. It's Tapas. Tapas.
Okay.
It's Taparia in Markham, over by Highway 7 and off of East Valley Commerce.
Okay.
And we've got them nominated for an award.
Oh,
Classic
nice.
Foods. If you ever need catering, please reach out to Classic Foods, Classique. They'll always get you taken care of. I could rattle off so many of our previous award winners. I'm going to get in trouble now because I don't have them. Actually, you know what you do? You want to find out, go to markhamboard.com, look up our member directory, and you'll find
all the best selections there.
Yeah. If I start rattling them off now, I know I'm going to miss a few. So
everyone's going to start sending you some angry texts.
Oh, man. Actually, Diana's Oyster Bar and Grill. Yeah, they were.
They're Buckashock, right?
Yep.
Yeah, the Buckashock. Yeah.
Their manager, their owner, was just nominated for top 40 under 40. But Diana's is great, and so many great places. That's the thing. Like Markham is that whole world of flavor. There's so much you can do here.
There's great commerce. There's great food. There's
Chef 88 Elite was an award winner. We've got. Gosh, like I say, now I'm going to get in trouble. Yeah.
No, amazing. Thank you for sharing.
kindly.
That pretty much wraps up our episode of TimSold Talks this week. So thank you very much, Chris, for coming on and sharing an amazing success story. Wish you all the best in Markham Board of Trade, for a flourishing future. Where can they find you? I know we've had a few blasts about that, but where can they find you specifically? Let our audience know.
Yeah, so our head office is at 3600 Steeles Avenue, which is the old IBM building. If anybody told me I'd be back there, I told them they were crazy, but here we are.
Yeah.
And we're always happy to see people there. And any events coming up, we do breakfasts every second Thursday, and we do after hours every fourth Thursday.
Okay.
So you check our calendar. After hours are free for members, and breakfasts are a discounted rate. We don't really make money on the breakfast. We want to give a good experience. And then as far as online, it's markhamboard.com. You can check out our socials, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and just sign up for our newsletter too, or subscribe to our socials, and you'll find us there.
Perfect. Yeah, and we'll make sure to leave all the links for everyone to follow,
Yeah.
so they can find you easily. So if you enjoyed today's episode and looking to buy some real estate, you know who to call. But
Oh, absolutely. We've already always happy. I think I may have referred a person or two as well your way.
Thank you for that.
We do try
Yeah.
and spread that around, and yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And if you enjoyed today's episode, particularly give it a 5-star review. Listen on Spotify, YouTube, all those lovely social channels, and just give them a thumbs up and give a shout out to Chris and the Markham Board of Trade. So thank you very much for coming on. And remember, guys, dream it, believe it, achieve it. It's a beautiful day to sell homes.
That's a great way to say it, Tim.
Thank you
Well
very much for
done.
coming.
Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
All right, cheers.
Hi, I'm Tim Kern, and I proudly lead the TimSold team. We're voted as one of the top 3 brokerages in Markham, and we will sell your house fast and for top dollar with the least amount of hassle, or we guarantee to buy it. Call us today and start packing.